Hi, everybody. It is my pleasure to welcome to the stage Denise Sanders from Monterey, California. Denise is a survivor and passionate artist. She founded Open Grounds Studios, which is an artist collective and community studio for emerging and professional artists and creative adults. Please welcome Denise.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Well, you all, it is such an honor, and I have to say I am just so proud to be standing here in front of this incredible room of powerful and courageous women, and that I get to share my story with you. My sisters and I were raised in a socially conscious family in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My dad was a political cartoonist, and he always encouraged the three of us, the four girls, to speak our mind. And that was at a time when the women's rights movement was just kind of starting to hit the ground. So that was a really big impact on me. As I moved into adulthood, I always kept art at my center, which led me into public life and leadership. First, by building community art spaces, and second, by becoming a teacher and a mentor. Oh, I've got a button here to press. This is over. So the dust never settles around my feet. I'm always doing a lot of different projects, but Open Ground Studios is truly my love child. For 10 years now, we've been helping countless of adults bring art back into their lives when they thought they had lost it. And it's a really courageous thing to do because we are so often intimidated by simply the word art. And I want to dispel that myth right now. The fact is, art is in everyone, and it is everything. Art, this is my pulpit, is the juicy part of our human beings. It's in that rich, juicy part. And so even if you think your imagination has left the building, it's still right up here waiting for you. While I've been busy making sure that everybody else had a safe studio to work in and an inspiring place to grow, it wasn't until recently, like 5 years ago, that I actually gave up 35 years of being a printmaker to learn how to paint. And I tell you what, it's never too late to step on the path toward whatever dream you have. The images from this resilience exhibition, the work you're going to see, was designed to share the transparency into the emotional and surreal experience of facing this life-threatening crisis. In this series, my own body becomes the holder of vulnerability and courage, uncertainty and identity, and ultimately transformation. I believe we all ache to be seen, and the moment I lay bare myself to you is your unspoken permission to do the same with me. And if we can do that for each other, I know we can start healing our wounds. I learned it hurts less on the exhale. In 2020, we were all under a lot of stress, and there was a lot of division and hate in our country that was escalating alongside the pandemic. My own consciousness of grief and loss was really on the rise when my husband moved his home office to Connecticut to help take care of his ailing father. My girls were sequestered away at college, so me and my dog spent a lot of time together in isolation in my house. Just before the holidays, I landed in the ER, and on the day of the insurrection, I had my second MRI. 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days later, or since I'd seen my husband, we were reunited at a hotel near the Stanford Hospital. Within that first 10 days, his stepmother died. 30 days later, his father died. And 1 day later, my father died. Life is embedded in time, and my expectation for both has been forever changed. I have advanced stage ovarian cancer. After that phone call, I started moving. I didn't know which way to go. And then I realized, I got stuck in this moment where everything fell to the ground. The gravity was like holding me to this spot, realizing that this was my reckoning of life, leading right up to this moment. all of the drama, all of the responsibilities, all of those things that I thought were so important, all of these assumptions that people had with me and myself, fell to the ground. And I said, it stops right here. This is my life. And I love my life. Like, I love my life. And then I moved to the front door, and I opened the door, and I looked out, and I saw the birds, and I saw the blue sky, and there was a breeze in my face, and I thought, oh my God, this is my trauma. This is my trauma. I have never been in the hospital before. I have never had any assaults on my emotional psyche or my body. I've lived a relatively charmed life. And this is my trauma, and I am so grateful that I am going to learn from this. I am going to do something with this that will change my life, because this is my life, and I love it. And then I also realized I'm going to move right through it, as it is a transition. This is an altar of gifts. It's an installation of physical gifts that I received over the course of my treatment. It's called number 1, gratitude, and it's in honor of the healing power of community. I sent out an SOS to 80 people when I got the news, friends, colleagues, students, family, telling them this is what's happening and I'm going to need their help. And what happened after that was nothing shy of a miracle. I had gifts coming from all over the place, not just cards and letters and flowers and flowers and flowers. Dudes, not a funeral home. It got a little overwhelming. But then, you know, over the course of the time, I was doing Caring Bridge updates, and it was really a way for me to connect with people, anyone who wanted to hear the story, and that I could write it, and they could hear it, and I was witnessed. And I would say things, and the next thing I'd know, a brand new heating pad would show up at my door, because I said, you know, my rickety old one is doing this. So this is the altar to that. And the biggest thing I learned about that experience was just how much I'm loved, and what carried me through to this day is that I matter. Oops. This piece is it's called complete. It's about 100% vulnerability and complete surrender. A few days before my surgery, my sisters and my mother and closest friends were charged with designing a ritual, a reverence for my body. We met at sunset on the beach where I got married. There were rocks and feathers and candles and poems. And we invited friends and family from around the country to hold space with us and to send me positive energy and to let every drop fall into me. Calling on the earth's vibrations and its infinite wisdom, 14 hands on my body, my feet dug into the sand. Universal energy that was palpable. It was transcendent. Energy pouring through their hands into my body, allowing my grief to rage, pounding into the sand, and the beat of the waves crashing on shore, collecting all the mist and being carried away on the wings of doves. My surgeon, by the way, studied art in his undergraduate stuff, just want to say. He spent 9 hours in the surgery room with me, debulking my abdomen, my GI tract, my tumors in my diaphragm and liver, had a radical hysterectomy, leaving me with a vaginal cuff and a temporary ileostomy. This piece is an installation that describes visually what was done to my body. It's made of wood and paint and has an ostomy bag, and that I had to change twice a week. And I took out my power tools and I made my own 12-inch incision and my second 2-inch incision. And then I named this piece of my small intestine Stella, because she's my stoma. And she and I, Stella, my stoma, and I, were in this together. I depended on her for my life. She depended on me for something to do. And I will tell you that That bag on the left is made by a gal on Etsy it's the girl with the bag. And it says, "Keep that shit up, girl." Within 2 weeks of surgery, my weight dropped to 86 pounds. So, treatment is brutal, as everyone in this room knows, and it is a slippery slope down into depression. That ostomy that I had was the most traumatic experience of this whole thing, and it made me stay in the hospital during COVID for 10 days without any visitors. My husband even drove 2 hours with a box of reassurance and encouragement, and the security guard said, "Not happening." And so my badass women called the nurses station across from my room and said, "Get down there and get that box for her." It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, this piece is really about me being here in the present moment. I know I'm here. I'm allowing everything that's happening and having faith in everything that the forces are doing while I am looking over here. And it is about visualizing what I want and what I need and what I deserve. And there's really not anything over there, but it could be over here. For me, my happy place was the summertime and the lake and the crickets and the heat. But I want to make something really clear. It's not about just saying I want to be there and I wish I could be there. It is about I am there right now. And I held that vision with me throughout my treatment. Losing hair is the thing, right? It's no fun. We all get that. But I was terrified, and I was not afraid of losing the actual hair, but I was afraid of what they were going to reveal. I have held shame in my whole life around my ears, and I'm tired of it. And this experience made me absolutely lean into radical acceptance. And I mean radical acceptance. I am what I am in my barest of moments, and I will become the best version of myself as I drop the shields that hide my imperfections and embrace the core of who I am. We need to love our bodies, women, exactly as they are. And with change, that change, if you visualize it, it's happening to you now, not tomorrow. I centered my healing intentions with reverence to the natural world. I chose metamorphosis and the monarch butterfly to help me through my own cellular transformation, from liquid, or from form to liquid to form again. This was me. This was me. This experience, by the way, gave me, for the first time in my whole life, a chance to relax. And it was just about the time and the moment. And I envision this dark, rich space of silence in nature where gestation happens. And the milkweed plant nourishes the monarch caterpillar with toxins through the milkweed plant. That enables this delicate creature that's going to emerge to be protected from her predators. And I was given a golden elixir with toxins to run through my body to bring me back into metamorphosis transformation. And I didn't begin this painting until about a year after I designed it. And I thought I was in that then, and a whole year later, that was still me. I was still not out of that chrysalis, and I wasn't cooked yet. This piece is, I'm just going to read it. While the storm collects and its unbearable weight pouring over you, you let everything drop to the earth. It swirls around you, collecting exactly what you need. And while you rest there, your power arises again. Throughout my life, I've leaned into emotion. I don't really believe there's any negative emotions. I believe we are an emotional body. And so my aim is to leave no trauma unresolved emotionally. All thoughts, fears, and dreams wash over me, and they swirl together into the earth. And I gather up that warrior energy, and I am going to rise again, and we are all going to fall back down again, and we will all rise again, because we are warrior women. Just saying. So over the course of the last 16 months, I've had many existential moments, and all of them involved my voice and my body. And each time, I felt incredibly blessed that this experience has brought me so much deeper into my humanity and my humility and understanding my body. It's opened my heart in ways that have me dancing down the street to my large songs and striking up conversations with strangers because I am overflowing with love. And sometimes I feel like a walking miracle to be able to have gotten to where I am at this very moment on this very stage using my voice to this group. And I want you to know that this experience has enabled me to become the artist that I always knew I was, and I'm certain I would not be here without it. So thank you so much.